Oh yeah. Hey everybody. I am drinking from a penis straw. I mean, hey, anything to piss off puritanical anti-sex types, because I think, therefore I'm liberal. Thank you, Christian. Kieran, and I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Well, I don't really have a word in answer to your question. I don't use a single word to define my political views. I think on Facebook, if you check my political views, I list them as very liberal, libertarian socialist, anarchist, technocrat, and Australian sex party, and classical liberal. Now, you may note that some of those probably contradict each other, but that's because my core issue I'm very strongly pro-civil liberties. I'm a staunch civil libertarian, and I am staunchly pro-science, as you may have guessed from my religious views, Pearl, Physical Evidence and Reasoned Logic, which you can find out about on the main page of Leftofawesome, where our featured video at the top is Thunderfoot's video, Rejecting Atheism. So, from my core principles of supporting scientific ways of thinking and supporting civil liberties, we get a range of opinions. I can end up agreeing with anyone from capitalist libertarians like, say, Murray Rothbard, to agreeing with socialists like Noam Chomsky and Bertrand Russell. And they're all in my department. We're all kind of in one extraordinarily broad posse. I suppose you could call me a libertarian, but not yet, or even an anarchist, but not yet, because I have serious doubts as to whether the state is legitimate. I don't consider any form of coercion or hierarchy to be desirable. And similarly, I don't think we should have a state to do things other than protecting the natural rights of the individual. I mean, there are lots of other things the state does, but they don't necessarily need to be performed by something that is financed through coercion. They could be performed conceivably through voluntary means, which cannot as easily be done for the defense of natural rights. So that's the only thing which I see a definite need for the state. However, unlike a typical libertarian, what I see is that there are certain things that in our current society won't be performed if the state doesn't do it. Take, for instance, scientific research. Scientific research is costly, and for reasons that are better expounded upon by the likes of Thunderfoot and Phil Plait, the bad astronomer, and Carl Sagan, I believe scientific research is absolutely vital to our progress as a species, to our progress as humans, and just, you can see the tangible gifts in medicine, in food production, in just our knowledge of the beauty of the universe. So science is something that, because it's so expensive, and because corporations, under the current Wall Street investor-based, trader-based capitalism, they are not into the ultra-long-term stuff that science provides. They want profit now, and basic research, which is absolutely necessary, I think, and vital to us, isn't going to happen in the current economy without some sort of public institution providing it. Currently, that's the government. What I think we need to do if we want to create the minarchist state that you proposed, or anarchism, which would be an even better option if it could be pulled off, which I'm still not certain it can be, is we need to look at ways to create voluntaristic alternatives to the state. And this doesn't involve the sort of privatization that Republicans talk about, because that's just giving it into profit holders. What I want is something that mimics the state's democratic nature, or the state's purported democratic nature, but does a better job of it, and that mimics the devotion specifically to the purpose. I want large concentrations of capital in nonprofits. I want large concentrations of resources in nonprofits. And I think we need to start working on building up those sorts of institutions if we are going to achieve libertarianism, rather than just slashing the budget. Some issues that you may not know my positions on, and you'll probably learn fairly quickly. I oppose gun control laws, I'm staunchly anti-imperialist and anti-war, and I am in favor of the abolition of the Federal Reserve, or at least a massive reform of it, because I think it's stupid. See you tomorrow, Gates. Damn, it's good to have all 7 spots filled on Leftofawesome.